In this presentation, I will look at the relationship between religion and traditional values. These traditional values include opinions on family structure, as well as opinions on homosexuality, prostitution, abortion, and divorce. A number of statistical tests were run on the 2005 World Values Survey to analyze the opinions of people who identify themselves with religion and their opinions on non-traditional values. It is a conflicting argument between social scientists and researchers whether religion in societies is declining or increasing. Depending on what part of the world you live in can have an effect to how strongly communities follow religion and religious beliefs. Many researchers pay great attention into the role religion plays in societal life, as it helps understand what shapes different group behaviours, cultures, attitudes, and many more components. Religious orientation help people shape their moral attitudes and what they consider to be acceptable attitudes and behaviours. As society moves into modernity, and what was once unacceptable in early 20th century is now completely normal. It is interesting to analyse the opinions of people influenced by religion and their views on non-traditional moral behaviour. In the World Values Survey, 71.7% of respondents considered themselves as a religious person. 23.2% identified as a non-religious person, and 5.1% were convinced atheists. The test showed is significant as there is a less than 5% of a chance of our result being due to sampling error, and therefore we can assume this data on the population as a whole. Even though it is argued that religion is on the decline, majority of participants in the World Values Survey considered themselves to be religious. To try and understand the link between religion and non-traditional values, a Pearson's R and R-squared correlation was run between how people rated the importance of God on a scale of 1 to 10 and justifiable homosexuality, prostitution, abortion, and divorce. The data analysed shows a negative correlation between all values. There is a 32.5% relationship between the importance of God and justifiable homosexuality, a 20.6% relationship with justifiable prostitution, a 36.2% relationship with justifiable abortion, and a 23.8% relationship with justifiable divorce. All of the correlations were significant under a 0.05 confidence level. This data shows that as the importance of God increases in one's life, the more likely they are to believe that the following issues are unjustifiable. As Pearson's R is quite broad, R-squared was analysed to gain a more accurate depiction for the use of the population. As all of these values are significant, we can assume these data to the population as a whole. Abortion is the most significant value in the relationship with how important is God in your life. There is a 13.1% chance of being correct in understanding their opinion on abortion if someone has a strong relationship with God. You can make the same conclusions with the percentage data presented for the other non-traditional values. These percentages represent the variance in attitudes. It is argued that those who are active within a religion believe that religion plays a crucial role in marriage and child upbringing. However, as religion encourages marriage and being brought up in a traditional nuclear family of two biological parents and children, issues have occurred within the changes to families in contemporary society. Many sociologists argue the family decline hypothesis, which focuses on the high divorce rates, which in turn can lead to a child being brought up by a single parent or one non-biological parent and one biological parent, as well as many same-sex couples. As non-traditional households are quite common in Western society, an analysis between religion and non-traditional household arrangements can analyse people's opinions on this contemporary change. The next analysis of religion and traditional views was a comparison between people's confidence in churches and their opinion on non-traditional household structures. The first question that was compared with confidence in churches was people's opinion on a woman as a single parent. The bar graph shows that the most prominent answer is that people who have a great deal of confidence in the church disapprove of a woman being a single parent, and the second most prominent answer being people who have quite a lot of confidence in the church disapproving of a woman being a single parent. The second analysis of traditional household structures was between confidence in churches and people's opinions on whether they agree or disagree that a child needs a home with a father and a mother. From the bar graph, it can be seen that most people, independent on their confidence level with the church, agree that a child needs a home with a father and a mother. However, the more confidence people had in the church, the more people agreed with the statement. For the comparisons between the two tests, cross-tabulations and chi-squared tests were run to analyse the data. The distribution of this data is significant based on these tests at the confidence interval of 0.05. The data showed that there is a 14.1% covariation between attitudes of women as a single parent and confidence in the church. This result is good, however, it is not overly strong. There was an 11.9% covariation between a child needs a home with a father and a mother with people's confidence levels in the church. Once again, this demonstrates that there is a relationship with people's confidence levels in the church and a child needing a two-parent household. However, the percentage is not very strong. This figure is low because, as was seen in the graph, independent of people's confidence in the church, majority of people agreed that a child needs a home with a father and a mother. 89.9% of people who had the most confidence in the church agreed with the statement, and 77% of people who have no confidence in the church at all agreed with the statement. This demonstrates that majority of people agreed with the statement regardless of their relationship with the church. From this data, we can gather that independent on relationship with the church, people still believe in the traditional nuclear family to raise children. However, woman as a single parent was looked down on more by people who had confidence in the church opposed to people who had no confidence in the church. These people were actually in approval of this situation. From the data collected, we can conclude that there is a negative correlation between the importance of God and justifiable homosexuality, abortion, divorce, and prostitution. There was also a relationship between confidence in the church and disapproving non-traditional household structures. All of the data collected was significant. However, no relationship between variables was greater than 14%. The data analysed does show that there are relationships between religion and non-traditional views. Even though the relationship between aspects of religion and non-traditional views were low, the overall numbers were high, which could demonstrate, regardless of a person's relationship with God, people still have traditional notions on family structures and opinions on perceived deviant behaviours such as abortion, homosexuality, prostitution, and divorce, even though all of these things are common now in Western society. Religion is a very broad subject, and there are many more tests that could be run to analyse the relationships between religion and non-traditional views. Running these tests helps us gain a better understanding into the ways religion follows these traditional household views.